you ever experienced this situation? You're eating dinner and you get a phone call. It's your second cousin, ex-brother-in-law, or maybe even some guy who says he sat behind you in high school algebra, and he tells you he just got a job at XYZ Financial Company and he wants to set up a meeting for you to learn more about the life insurance products that he offers through his firm. Now, if you're like most people, in the back of your mind, you're probably thinking one of two things. Number one, who did you say you were again? And number two, do I even need life insurance? Hi, I'm Tyler Gray, founder and principal financial advisor here at SageOak Financial in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And although I can't help you out with the first question on that list, on this week's Ask an Advisor, we are going to address the second question, and that is, do I need life insurance? Now, typically, I'll get this question when someone is experiencing a transition in their life. For example, you're retired now and you're reevaluating whether or not you need to keep an old life insurance policy on hand. Maybe you're expecting or recently had your first child and are wondering if you need to get life insurance for you or your new addition to the family. Regardless of the situation, there are basically three main reasons you might need life insurance. And those three reasons are, number one, final expenses, number two, income replacement, and number three, liquidity after death. So let's talk a little bit about each of those. Number one, final expenses. In 2012, the average cost of a funeral was in the neighborhood of $8,000 to $12,000. And the average cost of a cremation wasn't much cheaper at $3,000 to $5,000. Now, that's not a ton of money, but it's not exactly change buried underneath your couch cushions, at least not my couch cushions. With that said, my philosophy on insurance is that the purpose of insurance, whether it's life insurance, disability insurance, or any other type of insurance, the purpose is to provide in circumstances that would cause extreme financial hardship if that insurance was not there. So would your premature death, the burial expenses, cause undue financial hardship for someone you love? If it would, then it might make sense to take out a life insurance policy to cover your final expenses. Another question I get on a regular basis is about those baby insurance policies that a lot of new parents will get in the mail. Are they worth it? Well, the same logic applies here. If your child, heaven forbid, were to pass away tomorrow and paying for their funeral would cause undue financial hardship for you and your spouse, then a small insurance policy on your child's life might make sense for some people. But for most of my clients and prospective clients, you've probably got enough money in savings that would cover those expenses, so your money could be better put to use elsewhere. So that's the first one. Consider life insurance if you think you'll need money for final expenses. Number two, income replacement. This is what most people think of when they think of needing life insurance. For example, maybe you're the sole breadwinner in your family, and your spouse stays home to take care of the kids. In that situation, I probably don't need to convince you that you need life insurance on your own life to help provide for your family in case something happens to you. What you might not realize, though, is that even if your spouse doesn't make any income at all, it still might make sense to get life insurance on their life as well. You see, if they stay at home to take care of the kids, for example, and something happens to them, then you'll probably either need to stop working to stay at home with the kids yourself, or you'll need to pay someone to take care of the kids while you work. Either way, you'll need some extra money to do that, and that's where a life insurance policy might come into play on your spouse's life if they don't work. Bottom line, though, is if you have someone, anyone, an aging adult, child, whoever, who depends on you for their well-being, then you definitely need to have a plan in place if something were to happen to you, and many times that plan involves some sort of life insurance. Now, the third reason you might consider having life insurance is number three, liquidity after death. What do I mean by that? Well, in this case, the term liquidity refers to how quickly something can be converted to cash. For example, a checking account is very liquid because it's basically cash sitting in an account, whereas your house isn't very liquid because it would take a lot of time to convert it to cash, at least if you didn't want to take a big hit in value. So for example, maybe the majority of the value in your estate is in a business that you own, which isn't very liquid. In that case, you might need life insurance so that your heirs don't have to sell the business at a loss to pay any estate taxes that are due. Or maybe you're a partner in a medical practice or law firm, and one of your business partners dies prematurely. It might make sense that you would have a life insurance policy on each of your own lives so that there would be cash for a buyout in the case of you or your partner's premature death. Whatever the reason, though, liquidity after death is a good reason that you might need life insurance. Now, there may be a few other reasons you might consider life insurance, but these are the big three reasons that I usually bring up when I'm talking with clients and prospective clients. So maybe you've watched this video and now you realize, okay, I need life insurance. What next? Well, I recommend two things. Number one, get quotes from several highly rated insurance companies. An easy way to do this is by contacting an independent insurance agent in your area. You can find one near you by visiting trustedchoice.com. This agent will be able to give you a variety of quotes on different types of life insurance from a handful of different companies, so that way you can make sure you're making a good decision, have a lot of options to choose from. Number two, make sure to talk with your financial advisor before purchasing life insurance or any insurance product so that you can make sure any product you buy fits in with the overall goals you have for managing you and your family's wealth. Again, I'm Tyler Gray with SageOak Financial. Thank you for watching this week's episode of Ask an Advisor. If you have questions about this or any other topic related to managing your wealth, feel free to email me at tyler@sageoakfinancial.com. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.